Hi, I'm Peter with Legacy Heating and Cooling. I'm the sales manager.
I'm Joe Kilcup, install manager, also with Legacy Heating and Cooling. Peter, I wanted to talk today a little bit about just general maintenance, whether we're talking about our furnace. Obviously, we're embarking on air conditioning season now, so that might be something that somebody might consider, but maybe let's just start with the gas furnaces. Why am I doing maintenance?
So maintenance is really important, especially with gas-fired appliances. We always want to make sure that we have proper gas pressures in the home. The whole point of making sure we have proper gas pressures so we're not overheating the furnace itself, which can cause major issues such as cracked heat exchangers. We do scope the heat exchanger and make sure there's no holes, so that way there's no major safety concerns such as carbon monoxide coming in the home, which unfortunately happens frequently in Alberta, especially with the cold weather and people keeping windows and doors shut. Another thing that we do is we clean the burners and we also clean the sensors to make sure everything's running optimally. On top of that, we also do motor testing to making sure that everything all electronically is all secure, because myself being a technician as a refrigeration mechanic, I have gone into homes where half the furnace is caught on fire because the motor's overamping or causing issues. It's really important to make sure that you do get your gas-fired appliance maintenance.
So if I'm purchasing a high efficient furnace, does this do anything to help boost the efficiency of my furnace?
It certainly does, because what happens is if you have gas pressures out and the unit isn't running effectively or the motor's on its way out, it's not being able to push the amount of airflow you needed for heating or for cooling. Gas pressures being out, you want to get that 96 or 98% efficient furnace. Well, now you're running at a 90% efficient furnace. So you can really dial it in to make sure that you are maximizing the efficiency that you have with a high efficiency furnace.
So safety and utility savings are both good reasons as far as I'm concerned to have your furnace maintained. How about air conditioning?
When it comes to air conditioning, there's a few different steps that we have to do, especially with the maintenance that we do on ACs. So the biggest thing is making sure that the airflow is clean. With air conditioning, there's three main components. You have your airflow going across the coil itself, and the outdoor machine as well. So of course, coming up to springtime like we are now, you get a lot of that popular fuzz floating around and gets trapped in that condenser. So if you leave that stuck in there, for one, you end up losing quite a bit of efficiency on the machine, but also two, you can actually cause issues with freezing of the actual air conditioning unit itself, which causes a whole different ball game, because now you can also get water leaking inside of your furnace, and when you get water and electronics, it just does not work.
Right. So what about when somebody says I need my air conditioning system to be topped up? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so you gotta be really careful, because unfortunately, again, I'm a refrigeration mechanic by trade, so you get a lot of these guys coming back every year topping you up for gas. Well, that's not the proper way of doing it. These are sealed systems that should be never having to have gas added to them. So what happens is you have a refrigerant leak when you hear about getting topped up. And so preventative maintenance on that would be having us come out, and what we do is we actually put our gauges on and check pressures, because we can tell right away if the system's low on gas or whatnot. And if there is an actual leak, then we actually have leak detection systems that go on and we find the leak itself, and legally we actually have to fix that leak without just adding gas and letting it burst in the atmosphere.
So this is what they're talking about when they're saying my system needs a recharge. We're talking about it just has a leak, and we should probably find out where that leak is.
100%. So unfortunately, there's a lot of people that have been taken advantage of over the years based on that. And again, I've been in this industry almost 20 years. We get hundreds of calls a year based on that. And that's why with Legacy Heating, we're about honesty and integrity, and we make sure we find that leak and make sure that it solves that issue for future use.
And I imagine leaking refrigerant can't be very good for the environment.
It certainly is not, and that's why there's bans on just adding gas and topping it up. And so of course we want to protect the ozone and greenhouse gases going into the atmosphere, and so that's how we go and fix that unit and making sure that your unit is running under prime conditions, you get max efficiency, and it's safe for the environment.
Perfect. Well, thanks again for your knowledge, Peter. Once again, Joe and Peter with Legacy Heating and Cooling. If you'd like to know more, please contact us at legacyheating.ca.